My name is Andy Timmons. I live in Lubbock, Texas, and farm in the high plains of West Texas. Peanuts and cotton have been our main row crops, and about 10 years ago we started to diversify in the wine grape business. Frost control has become very important to us. In the last 9 years, we've had 5 frost events that have severely damaged our production. And we've decided to try to do something to help mitigate that, and that's where Orchard Rite machines have come into play for us. Bought my first Orchard Rite machines in December of 2013, and we installed them in March of 2014, about 3 weeks before the frost season started, and we put them into service immediately that year. The motivation behind our purchase of the Orchard Rite wind machine was my visits to other growers in the Washington area that considered them an integral part of their production operations. And we had just been kind of at the mercy of Mother Nature and been observers to the frost events in the past. And we decided that for our operation to move forward and to increase acreage and be a more consistent supplier, that we had to become active participants in the frost events that occurred. And we employed different methods. We employed some supplemental heat, but the wind machines did the lion's share of the work. We reached 24 degrees the night of April the 13th, and we were able to save the amount of fruit that the Orchard Rite people had told me that the machine would service, and it saved 100% of the fruit underneath the machines. Outside of the area of the machine's coverage, we lost 100%. Water is not an option here on the high plains. We have about 1 to 2 gallons per minute per acre for our vines, which is just sufficient enough to irrigate the vines with. And with the requirements of 100 to 150 gallons per acre for good frost control through overhead sprinklers, it's just not an option for us out here. My decision to purchase the Orchard Rite machines was a very easy decision for me, as a very good friend of mine that I met in Washington owns several of these machines, and it was his recommendation that I went upon. The service and the reliability and the warranty and the follow-up with the salesman and the staff has all been excellent. The main thing that I saw this year on the frost protection was that I put them on 10-year-old vines, and I had 1-year-old vines that we left unprotected, and those vines got completely decimated by the freeze, and we had to cut those back down to the ground and restart, which all grape growers know that's a very expensive task to undertake. And so in the future, the year that I install my new plantings, there will be wind machines in the vineyard in the year that we plant them to protect them the following spring from the spring freezes that we can have here so often. One of the unexpected benefits I've received from this is that there's several wineries that are asking to move their production from other vineyards that don't have installed frost protection like we have with the Orchard Rite machines. They're wanting to come on because they've seen the difference that the machines made this year, especially in our white grapes. One of the white grapes we produce and do well with is Viognier, and it's a very big grape in Texas, and they're very, very early budding. The only other variety out here that buds earlier than Viognier is Chardonnay, which we don't grow much of. And Viognier has become a very important grape for these wineries, and they want it somewhere where they can have it more than once every 2 or 3 years. I think the wind machines are going to be very important, not only just for me myself, but also for the wine industry in Texas. We have to be able to become more consistent producers than we've been. We've only been making crops every other year for the last 8 years. Now, prior to that, this 8 or 9 year period, there were 8 frost-free years. But the wineries cannot, they can't count on us every year, so they have to go to other places and purchase fruit to supplement what we can't supply. So until our production out here in the vineyard becomes consistent, our industry will never grow, not only just the vineyard part, but also the winery part and the Texas name itself.